couple episodes ago, somebody saw me wearing this Magnification hood, and they wanted to know, does it have a light? Well, the answer to that is no. These are pretty old. I got these. I'm guessing around. Well, I had them when I was doing the Titanic. I know that. So we're looking at around 40 years ago. I remember where I bought them, though. I bought them from Cellar Dweller Hobby Store here in Winnipeg. And I remember at the time they were kind of expensive, probably because they're made of metal. I don't know. However, about a year ago I bought these, maybe a little over a year ago now, and these do have a light, but I don't wear them. And actually, it's got quite a bright light. Anyway, I don't wear them because the part that goes on the bridge of your nose, it hurts after a while. It's kind of, I don't know, they're kind of heavy. Maybe because of the batteries. There's batteries in here. If I was to take the batteries out and take the light off, then it would be somewhat lighter. But then that would sort of defeat the purpose. Now, I know that these things also can be, you take these off and you put a strap that'll go around the back of your head. I haven't tried that. It could be that might work, but then this part here is going to be held really tight against my forehead. So, I don't know. I've seen these under many different names, but they're all basically the same thing. I got these from Amazon. Now, I hope that answers your question. No, this doesn't have a light. But with all the light I got going on here, I don't really need it. I don't like to do retakes, but this is my second try at this one. Okay, I don't know how to get going at this. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I don't want anybody to take anything the wrong way. And I'm the type of person that has to do everything sort of chronologically, or I forget where I am, and then I have to start all over again. Anyway, remember in yesterday's video I was talking about these little guards here, and I wasn't 100% sure what they were called. Well, I got a comment in the comments to yesterday's video. There was a comment. I started reading it, and they're called splinter guards. And I instinctively looked up to see who it was who had looked over to see who it was who had commented, and I saw Scott something. And I thought, well, I don't remember seeing that one before, and I instantly thought of our friend Scott in Australia, Aussie Trekkie. And then I also at the same time thought, it won't be him. But I clicked on it anyway because that's what I do. I like to see what are other viewers putting up. And in most cases, there's nothing. But in some cases, the person will be doing models, or they'll be doing something. At least I kind of get to know what kind of people they are. It might have nothing to do with models. But, that's all right too. At least they commented on my episode, and that was good. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought here. So, as it turns out, when I clicked on it, this is what I saw. And it almost took my breath away because I realized, my goodness, that's our Scott. And so I was scared to click on the video for a minute, but I did anyway. And then right away it starts playing. And I'm not going to rehash what Scott said, but for those of you who have been asking what happened to Aussie Trekkie, just go back and go back into the comments from yesterday's video for me, find this comment, and then click on it, and it'll take you right to it. And Scott explains what happened. Now, like I say, I'm not going to hash what he said because he says it really well. However, I am going to say that my opinion is, and I hope I'm right, but my opinion is Scott will be back. Maybe not exactly the way it was, but I think eventually he'll be back. But anyway, you listen to what he has to say there and see what you think and make up your own minds. Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in because if people like me who have a model show, and I know that some of my viewers were also Scott's viewers, because in Scott's comments I would see the names of guys that are commenting in mine. So yeah. So anyway, maybe the word will get out, and yeah, it's just. I was going to say it's too bad. Well, it is too bad. Just listen to what he has to say there, and then you'll know. I've rambled on long enough about this. Anyway, Scott down there in Australia, I hope everything works out for you. Really do. Now, I don't use this perspective very much anymore because it's a little bit cumbersome to have to switch the camera around to hang it from overhead. However, to get a shot like this to demonstrate something, I just got a poke, don't I? To demonstrate something, this is the absolute best way to do it. Because you get to see everything pretty much the way you would be looking at a plan or a drawing. Now, one of the viewers drew my attention to the fact that right here, I've screwed up. When I put this piece of tape on, I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I went too far. This piece of tape should have been cut off right here. Now, what I was going to do was I was thinking, well, I'll take my axe and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see better here. Now, as the infamous past President Richard Nixon once said, and he was sort of noted for saying this, I want to make this perfectly clear. Well, he used to say something like that. Anyway, I want to make this perfectly clear. Just because I do not highlight your particular comment in my videos here does not mean I don't appreciate them. I appreciate all your constructive criticism. Please keep them coming. Okay, let's try not to bump the camera with my forehead here now. I had originally thought of taking my knife here and just cutting this out in the right place, but really the simplest solution is take off this piece of tape that I made too long and just cut this corner off. Notice when we're starting to reveal the way it's supposed to be here. Now it's a good chance to try out these scissors that I bought towards the end of the Titanic, the Bismarck build. And if you remember, people were on my case to get a decent pair of scissors, and I was getting all stubborn and trying to modify an ordinary cheap pair. And anyway, bottom line is I eventually got what I was supposed to have got. Okay, that should mask pretty good there. Now, right here where the pin head is touching, we are pinpoint focused. Should be sharpest right there. Anything closer or further away is going to blur out. But right here is the area in question. And my thinking is, you remember we gooped the paint on there or flooded it on there, and all the definition, like the base, was gone, and I was concerned if when the paint evaporates, are we going to get this definition back? And as near as I can tell, we basically have. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. I think that now there is one other concern. If the paint is put on so terribly thick, if when I pull the masking tape away, is it going to sort of chip off? I don't think it will. I don't think we're going to lose anything here. I think it's going to be all right. It appears that this piece of tape here is too far this way. It's not going up against the side of this little box, or the base of the box rather. But there is, I believe, another layer just underneath it. I think there is anyway. Well, I guess we'll know once we, once we pull it away. I am doing a lot of talking and no spraying. I'm just getting no place here today. I think that my latest thinking on this is sort of like I mentioned before. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to spray this, and I'm going to accept the fact that the inside of the splinter shields are going to, I'm going to have to repaint them. That's just all there is to it. It won't take that long. I think that's the way to go right now. Yep. Okay, you can see here how the deck is all detailed. It's the decking here is the same as it is here, and I was about ready to set up the spray here, and then I thought, what goes over there? Isn't there a part that goes over top of that? And so I checked the manual, and sure enough, this part here goes over top. And I think we'll just take it off the sprue here. I'll trim these up properly later. They have to be just sanded down or filed down just very slightly here, but at least we can see how this is going to go. Okay, it locks into place like that. Now, we can't see any of this. I suppose possibly if you were to be able to look down these holes here where I believe there's going to be ladders, okay, then you might be able to see in there, except that it's all dark. So somebody went to a lot of work to texture this, and it's definitely not going to be seen. Once again, it's like the grand staircase on my Titanic. It looked really nice until it got covered up. Anyway. Now, remember when I sprayed the deck tan, I covered the tops of these boxes up because I was afraid of possibly losing the detail. But, I don't think I'm going to bother on this side. I think I'm just going to, being as I'm going to sort of lightly spray it, I might do 2 coats as it's being constantly recommended to me. I do have a tendency to put on way too much paint on the first coat. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray this, and I just hope I'm not painting myself into another corner. Okay, we're going to be painting everything with the 77. However, later I'm going to want to be using the 66 to do our boxes. So we'll probably have to mask this all off in order to paint these, unless I try it with a brush, but I don't know. I want to see how this is going to come out. I don't know why this section is becoming complicated to me. It shouldn't be. Everything is basically very straightforward here. I don't remember having this problem when we did the Bismarck. Anyway, let's get our 77 sprayed on. If there's overspray that gets on these boxes, well, that's okay. then we'll remask the area that we do the 77 now. I'm imagining I'm going to have to go over it twice, give it a couple of coats. I'm going to really try and not flood the paint on like I usually do, in order so that I only have to do one coat. I'm gonna try this time, but it seems to me I said something like that before once. Okay, I do believe this is a brand new jar. I don't think it's ever been opened. Now there's supposed to be 10 milliliters of paint in there. So it weighs 47.3. If we wanted to put another 10 milliliters in to make it 50-50, we'd go 57.3. But I'm thinking that's probably too thin. So let's bring it up to 53. Now this doesn't have to be exact, but I just want to see if I can actually do it. Oh, it timed out. Well, we were pretty close. We were pretty close. Alright, let's give that a good shaking. It should be well thinned. For those of you who have been telling me how you paint, you thin it out, 50-50, well, we got it pretty close to that. This is probably going to be the thinnest I've ever sprayed anything. Well, I'm thinking that probably at least half an hour has passed here now. And there is the odd place, like right there, for instance, that it looks a little thin. In other words, you sort of see plastic showing through like you do right here or right here. So I'm probably going to give it another coat. I'll do that off camera. I might do that this evening yet. We'll see how it goes. See how I feel. Yeah, this is all about fun, and if you force yourself to do something when you don't want it like this, it's, like I've said before, it's no longer fun. I think we're okay here. I'm noticing in some places where the masking tape looks a little ragged along the edges. That's kind of disappointing. Maybe what I should have done is taken that viewer's advice and cut the edge with a knife, so it was a nice sharp edge. Well, we'll see how it looks when they peel it off. I mean, I'm looking at it like super close, almost like the macro lens, but not quite. Now, I went to edit out the closing scene here, and while I was sitting at the computer, I realized that there's no way that you were going to be able to see what I was talking about when I was talking about ragged edge. I didn't mean this piece here. I meant right along here where the head of the pin is touching or almost touching. It's a little bit ragged in places. I can't show it all to you, but I don't think we're going to be able to see that though once it's peeled off. A lot of the stuff that we're looking at, the frizzies or whatever you want to call them on the edge of the tape, I believe that's going to peel away. I think that we're going to basically have a nice sharp line, all being well. I want to be careful I don't scratch the deck like this right here. Well, that's tape, so I don't need to worry about that. But as I've said before, this flat paint, it scratches so easy. Anyway, now we'll continue on. I think that's it for today, folks. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.